guys, Preacher 357 here, doing a little bit of follow-up with Reggie here, my Ruger LCPII. We had some problems with the magazine dropping out while I was shooting, and I didn't think I was hitting the mag release, and if that's the case, it's the first time in the last several years it's ever happened. So I went and bought a new magazine for Reggie here, and thought I would just give it a try. This is a actual Ruger mag, it's not some aftermarket. And so I thought I would give it a try today and see if it made any difference, see if this other mag is still doing the same thing, and see if maybe the new mag fixes the problem, and then we'll go into the shop maybe and take a look at it and strip it down and see if we can figure out what might be going on. But we'll try first with the old mag here and just see if it does the same thing again. All right, let's give her a shot here, just see what happens. Yep, the mag dropped out. Dropped out again. Trying to make sure I don't hit it. Well, they got a malfunction here. Trying to make sure I'm not hitting it, but like I said, if I am, it's the first time I've ever hit it in however many years I've had this gun. Let's try it again. Trying to make sure I don't hit it. And it dropped out again. That was all the rounds. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but let's try this new mag and see if the same thing is happening. And if it is, then we're going to take it in the shop and start stripping this thing down, trying to figure out what's going on with it. Because I don't think I'm hitting it. I'm trying to make sure I don't by keeping my fingers away. It just dropped out again. I'm going to watch just to make sure I don't hit it. It dropped out again. I know I didn't hit it that time. So we've got some sort of problem going on with this gun that it's not, it's dropping the magazine under recoil for some reason. Holding really low and trying to hold the mag in. But yeah, that's definitely a problem. So we'll have to go in here to the shop, strip this thing down, and see if we can figure out what's going on.
All right, guys, I've got the LCP2 now down here on the cleaning table, and I've got it stripped completely apart, except for the mag release. After looking at everything, I can't find anything particularly that I see that's wrong. Everything looks like it's in good working order. After doing a little bit of research, there are other instances of people having this same problem, and they make some higher powered springs for the magazine release, and I'm assuming that's probably what I'm going to need, because you can see here with this one, there's not a lot of tension here. And I think what it is under the recoil of this gun, the twisting forces that you get with that as well, even if you're not hitting this mag release, I think it's enough that there's not enough tension to prevent the magazine from coming out, because there's just a really small lip on this magazine release. I don't know if you can even see down in here. I actually took it apart earlier and looked at it, but on that mag release, it's just a really small lip that catches the magazine. And there's a little bit of room in the magazine well as well. It's not a very tight fit with the magazine in the gun either. See if I put it in here. You see, it's not an extremely tight fit in there. And of course, you don't want it to be too tight anyway, but I think there's just enough play there with this spring not being especially strong that it's allowing the magazine to come out and drop free during the recoil. So I think my best bet is to probably put one of the heavier springs in the magazine well there to hold that magazine in. And so I'll be looking at options for that. The one I looked at specifically was a Macarbo, which they make some different products, for aftermarket products for different firearms. So I'll probably be looking at that and maybe having to do an install of that to rectify this problem. So I'll make a follow-up video, obviously, when that happens, to show everyone that process.
Hey guys, the spring kit for the LCP2 has come in. So now I'm walking through my muddy, sloppy yard here from all this weather that we've had over the last week or so. And I'm going out to my shop and I'm going to install the new springs in the LCP2 and hope that that magazine spring fixes the problem with the magazine dropping out. So we're going to go to the cleaning table here and I'm going to take the LCP2 apart. We're going to install that spring and then we'll see how she does. So let's get inside here. All right guys, I'm in here now at the cleaning table and I've got the Ruger LCPII here on the table. And I'm going to install this mag release spring that I got from M-Carbo that's supposed to be a little bit stronger spring and improve performance on the magazine release, because the only thing I could really find that might be wrong with this gun when I looked at it, from what I could tell, was that this magazine release is not very stiff at all. I mean, there's very little resistance there. And from doing a little bit of reading online, it seems like that might be something that has been a known issue with these guns, that the springs get weak on them and the mags will fall out of them. Apparently I'm not the only one that's experienced this. So I bought this extra power mag release spring here that I'm going to install to see if it rectifies the issue. First thing we've got to do though is we've got to break this gun down. Nothing in the chamber there. And we'll have to pull this pin out here to break it down. The slide comes off. We don't need the slide anymore. Everything we need here is in the frame. So what we have to do here on the Ruger LCP is there are a couple of pins here that have to be punched out. And then we also will have to release the mainspring in order for the trigger group to come out, because the spring we need to replace is actually on the frame underneath the trigger group here, underneath this trigger pack. So that's going to have to come off of the gun in order for us to install this spring. There is one more roll pin here on the frame that's right here. Don't punch that out unless you just absolutely need to replace your sear and sear spring. Don't punch that out, because it is a pain to get all of that back into place. The sear and the sear spring are tiny. They don't fit very well into this little bitty place that they have to go. And when you got big meaty sausage hands like me, it kind of gets hard to get down in there and to replace it. But being the bull in the china shop that I tend to be, I don't like to look at instructions. I just like to make a mess first and try to figure out how to put it all back together later. So I just punch all the pins out right off the get-go and just disassemble everything whether I need to or not, and then try to figure it out after the fact. And I spent 3 hours trying to get that sear and sear spring back in. So it would have been nice if I had actually read some instructions or watched a video or asked somebody who actually knew what they were doing, but that's not my way. So I made a mess and had to spend a lot of time fixing it. So don't punch that out unless you just need to replace that sear or sear spring. But these two right here are the two roll pins that'll come out, and then we'll have to release the mainspring as well. So let's get started doing that. I'll go ahead and punch the pins out first. We'll punch them from this side here. I'll take a punch here. No matter which one of these I use here. So that one's out. And now we'll punch this one right here out as well. To hold this one a little bit more when I do it. It's barely got any surface there. There we go. All right, so those pins are out and we'll set those to the side. Now we've got to release this mainspring.
So we just pop this piece right here off. This is just a cover that pops right off. Well, I said it did. There it goes. Just pop that off and you can see there's a pin right here that the spring is wrapped around that holds that in place there. And so I'll probably just pull up on the spring with this punch here and get it off of the off of this, and then we can just pull the spring out. There we go. All right, now the spring is off. Now we just need to pry the trigger group out, because it probably won't just pull out, because this side plate right here that has the serial number on it is kind of recessed in a little bit into the frame, so you have to pull out right there a little bit and then pull up, and it should come out. There it goes. Now we got to watch these springs. They'll fly everywhere, because there's the retaining spring here. It just popped out on me right there. Just go ahead and pull it off so it don't fly everywhere. That holds the slide stop, and it's also the retaining spring for the pin, the cross pin. And on the other side we have our trigger bar, and there's a spring for the trigger reset spring for the trigger bar, which will also pop off. But if we can just get this off, there we go. And so now the LCP2 is taken apart here, and the spring we need is right down here at the back. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's right back there on the front side of the grip there, right behind where the trigger is. And so we need to take that out, and we'll replace it with this one. And so I'm just going to pull it out with this punch here and try to make sure it don't fly everywhere. There we go. Yeah, no problem. So there's the original. All right. And of course, the slide stop just comes out then without that spring in place to hold it in place. So now we need to get our Carbo Extra Power spring out, which I'll do now. And we need to install it. Well, there it is. All right. Put this back through. All right, I'm gonna have to have my flashlight to see down in here. Even with all the light I've got on the table here, my eyes are not good enough to see it without some extra light. So, all right, let me take a look down in here. There's a little hole that has to go into. The long arm of the spring right here goes into a little hole in the mag release itself, and this part of the spring actually forces into the side of the frame, and that's what provides your tension. So let's see if I can get that in there. I'm going to have some pliers. My fingers will not get down in there. All right, I got it back down in here. Now I've got to get it set without knocking it back out again. So let me try that again. A pair of really small pliers would be better, but unfortunately I don't have any out here because I can't ever remember to bring my stuff out. It's all up in the garage in my big toolbox. Right here. A rebound spring tool for a Smith & Wesson. I wonder if that would work. I almost had it. Oh, I had it. There it goes. All right. So repurposing the rebound spring tool along with a screwdriver actually did the job. That's some high-end gunsmithing right there if you weren't aware. But all right, so we got that mag spring in there. It definitely feels more positive, more tension there. So now we just gotta put this rascal all back together again and take her out and see if that fixed our problem. So we'll start by putting our trigger pack back in. Well, we gotta put our spring for our slide and release. That down in there good. Likes to pop out. You really got to get this one in there good. Reset spring is still set. We'll get this back down in there. Get our spring set there. You have to pull the trigger a little bit to get the back in. There it goes. Alright, that is back into place. Now we just need to reset our mainspring. So I'll get a hold of this the mainspring here and get it up. And I'll take our pin and get it set back into place here. And I just got to loop it back over the top. There we go. Put our cover back on. I just got to put our pins back in. Big pin in the back, little pin in the front. That's easy enough. All right. Perfecto. Small pin in the front. That's in. All right. this back in. Release our slide. And she's back together. Now all that remains is just to test her out and see if that fixed the problem. So why don't we go do that real quick?
All right, guys, we're out here on the range now. A little bit chilly. Not the most beautiful of days out here, but we're going to try out the LCPII, or as we like to call him, Reggie now. I think maybe we've got the problem fixed. We got the new spring in, and so now it's time to actually see if the magazines will actually stay in when I fire the gun. Let me get my magazines out of my pocket here. So let's load up a little bit and see what happens. We're not going to do too much shooting today. Not going to be shooting for accuracy. I'm not going to shoot at the 80-yard rifle plate today. I don't think there's any need in trying that with an LCPII, a little bitty short barrel like that. There's no chance I'll ever hit that thing. So I'm not even going to pretend I'm that good. So we're just going to shoot one box of ammo here, have a little bit of a good time here, hopefully. This magazine will stay in while I shoot, and then we'll see how it goes. All right, let's try her out here. Let's just do a little bit of shooting here. We're going to probably just shoot at mostly the big plates here. I don't see any reason to even try at the smaller ones. And the one small plate of mine is turned around sideways now, and I can't get it to line back up. I guess it's took so much punishment, it's all out of alignment. I'm gonna have to redo the whole thing now, apparently. So let's just shoot a little bit and see what happens here. See if this magazine release will hold that mag in place. I'm gonna try my best to keep my fingers away from it so I know I'm not hitting it. Well, it stayed in there. Well, it appears to have stayed in, but I realized that I did forget something. I forgot my hearing protection, and now I can't hear anything. My ears are ringing, so let me run in real quick and get that before I do any more, because I would like to still have some hearing left after this is over. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back now. I don't know why you guys didn't tell me before I started shooting I didn't have my hearing protection on. Why would y'all let me do that, huh? That's not very nice of you. Tell a guy before he ruins his hearing, you know? I don't know how in the world we shot guns when we were young without hearing protection. I don't ever remember it really hurting my ears or it being that big a deal. Of course, I can't hear anything now either, so that may have something to do with it. That and all the loud heavy metal music I listened to growing up, and well, still listen to, but all the guitar playing I do and everything else. It's a wonder I can hear anything at all. But, you know, my ears ring all the time now. But, you know, I can still hear most of the time, except when my wife is telling me something. I can't ever hear then. So let's shoot a little bit more here. See if it works for this mag too. That would lock the slide back too. So it seems like we're definitely having a better time now. I don't know if I'm shooting this one awfully well. That just may be me though. But let's be honest. The Ruger LCPII was not made to shoot targets at 20 yards. It's made for a 3-yard encounter, right? Or less. It's a get off me gun, as they say. Close up, close and personal. You know, it's not intended for a long range gunfight. This is strictly somebody's on top of you and you got to get them off of you. You're in desperate need, and you've got to have something right then to end the fight, right? So that's what this gun is for. The sights are fairly minimal. They're a lot better than the original LCP, of course, but they're still fairly minimal. The LCP Max has much better sights than this one, and I'm still considering whether I want to try that one out or not. I haven't decided yet, because I'm not sure if it would really fit in any system I have, if it's really what I want for pocket carry, because it's a little bit bigger than this one, but at the same time, it's probably a lot easier to shoot, better sights on it. But like I said, this gun is for pocket carry. It's for that you got to get off of me gun kind of thing. It's not for long range, somebody's way over there and they're shooting at me kind of thing, you know. So I don't know. I don't know. I still haven't decided. Well, let's try a little bit more here. Let's see if I can hit that one out there at 35. Yeah, no. No, I think that was short, low, wasn't it? I don't even know where these are going. It looks like those were a little low, weren't they? Yeah, this mag doesn't like to slide back. Let's shoot the cowboy again. Or let's don't. I don't even know where these are going. There we go. This LCPII pinches the mess out of my finger though. It absolutely does. And being as cold as it is out here right now, that don't help anything either. It's not the most pleasant gun to shoot. Very tiny, very hard to hold on to. But not a bad trigger, really. I mean, honestly, the trigger on it is not a bad trigger at all. That was something that was greatly improved on this model versus the original, which was a full double action. This one is a hammer-fired gun, but the trigger is set almost all the way back. It's almost completely cocked, and the trigger just, I think, pulls it back just a hair, I believe. I'd have to check on that. I may be wrong, but I think the trigger pulls it back just a hair before releasing it. Whereas with the Shield EZ, the 380, I'm pretty sure it's just completely single action. I couldn't tell the trigger was actually manipulating the hammer at all on that one. Let's shoot just a little bit more. Like I said, we're going to shoot this one box of ammo, and then that's all we're going to do today. That one's high. Maybe getting a little bit better feel here. Once you get the feel for it, I mean, you can hit something with it. I mean, that cowboy is basically a man-sized target at a hair over 20 yards probably. So, I mean, if you're able to hit a man-sized target at 20 yards, that's plenty accurate for a little pocket gun like this one. So, you can't complain about that. Can't complain about it. I cannot feel my hands, by the way. They are completely frozen. I don't know if you can see all the trees here, but there is ice all over everything here. We had an ice storm basically yesterday and last night, and everything is just covered in ice right now. Yeah, these last two mags or so is about all I'm going to be able to do. I'm about to go back in the shop where it's warm. See if I can hit this red plate again. Well, I thought I had it figured out there. Doing a little bit better with it. All right, I'm going to say that the problem is solved. The M-Carbo extra power mag release spring has saved the day. Reggie is now working again, and he will now probably end up being back in my carry rotation. I think I can trust him again, so appreciate you guys coming out. God bless you. Y'all take care, and we'll see you again next time.